There will be two. For the theory means the written exam. So what you have to write first, I'm making this as a video. What you have to write first is practice writing Tintal notation, Kaharva notation, Dadra notation, and Jhaptal notation only for grade 4. Notation, you understand? Hello, notation. Yeah, from the book, it's there. So notation of that. And not only the single speed, you should be able to do the dugun speed also. So notate the dugun speed. Start with tinta, dizierta. Start with kehrwa. Egun dugun. Like you are dancing, you are reciting same thing, notating. Egun dugun. Okay, for this is your job. This is not a lot of things in that. And then be very aware or mindful of what are the signs, how many divisions are there in Tintal, how many divisions are there in Jhaptal, because the questions they ask, they're like one division of Tintal and one division of Kehrwa makes how many matras. So that's why you need to know. One division of Tintal has 4. Kehrwa has how? 4. 4 plus 4, 8. Minus one division of Dadra, minus 3. What is the number? So that's why you need to know. Yeah, you need to know the divisions properly. But if you note it, it's that's the easier way. You do everything just by notating it, but notate the first as well as the second speed. So you did dha, ge, that's the first speed. Then notate dha, ge, na, ti. So in one bit you're punching 2 syllables. Notate that also. So if you have to write kehrba in second speed, how many times you have to write the tal? Raise your hand. Who can tell me? I'm asking you to notate kehrba in the second speed. Okay, so to complete the notation, Iksha ko bolne do, Kenisha, एक second. She's like in the junior grade. Let me ask, yeah. How many times you have to notate?
2.
Exactly. Now, Kenisha, if you have to write Jhaptal in 4th speed, how many times you have to write Jhaptal to bring it into the mathematics? Exactly. Because in one beat, which you're underlining, you have to punch 4 syllables. So if one beat has 4 syllables, then by the time you complete the entire cycle, you have repeated Jhaptal 4 times. Yes, Mihika?
So if we have to write egun and dugun, so the sum, right? So we write egun and then to start with dugun, do we just like in the same like format? Like do we start with that same like sum and then we go with the dugun?
No.
Like I it's hard to explain. Like
No. They don't ask you to write Eggun Dugun like that. Simply, the simple one question comes, write Dugun in Jhaptal. Say, okay, let me do the Kehr. Write Dugun in Kehr. So there is no connection with Eggun. Eggun itself is a separate question. Dugun itself is a separate question. To start from the beginning. You have to write Dugun. How you write? How you recite is how you write. Dha, ge, na, ti, na, ka, dhi. Now you're reciting it, so you should be able to write it. Dha, ge is one bit. That means in one beat, you have to write dha, ge. Dha, ge. And to identify one beat, what did I suggest? Underline. So any syllable which are under the same line is one beat. Did you understand? If I take Kenisha and Mihika, and they have to be one beat, that means I write the 2 names without space and I underline them. Kenisha, Mihika. That's one line. Then I space out. Then next maybe Vivia, Myra. They are one beat. Okay? One beat is underline. In the book, there are ample examples. Ample, simple examples of notation. First, do the tala, and then there are so many salutation, katukra, this and that in the book. Read it out and notate. This is like a simple mathematics practice. This is one thing. Another thing for all of the grades, there's a 12 to 15 marks question. Listen to me carefully. Devotional song, kavit or shloka. Either of the one. Okay. So generally they give two choices and you have to write one. Okay. So now in your syllabus, you have three things: devotional song, shloka, and kavit. So my suggestion is at least do kavit and shloka because those are smaller, shorter. If because they are asking any two. So if the devotional song comes, for example, and you have not prepared it, then at least you have the kavit ready. Okay, you're not doing kavit, but then you have the shloka. So if the devotional song is coming, it will come with the choice of the shloka. So if you do kavit and shloka, you will at least get one of those. Okay, and if you can do all three, then it's very good. Now 12 marks question is not one liner. This is what I'm asking you to write it before the exam. It's not one line, it's 1 page to 1.5 page of information. First, they ask you to write the syllables. You're writing Drimiki, Drimiki, the example, curve. Then they ask you the meaning. That's the next paragraph. Then they ask you how you danced it. That's good 6-7 lines. And then they may ask what hasta mudras or what abhinay section did you use. So you see, this if you keep it ready before, because you know you're going to do the Shiva Kavit, and for the Vandana, you can still do the Guru Vandana because it's short for the writing part. That's 15 marks question. You have to keep it ready. Okay. Now for the grade, this is the only question which is long for grade 3 as well as grade 4. But grade 4 has another question which can be long. I read it in there, which is they're asking you, you know, you read about Kathak dancers and tabla player? Yes or no? Yes. So they are asking you, write a couple of lines about the gharana of the artists that you have studied until now. So for example, Kenisha studied 2 gharanas: Sitara Devi Banaras, Birju Maharaj Lucknow. Okay, then at least she should be able to write about Lucknow or Banaras, preferably both, at least 5-6 lines. Okay, say for Myra did Zakir Hussain. Zakir Hussain is from Punjab Gharana, tabla, correct? Now, if the question comes, she said, okay, I studied about Zakir Hussain, and Zakir Hussain is from Punjab Gharana. So then the speciality of the Gharana. Okay, this information you will collect from the internet. For the Kathak, you have it in the book, but very long. So you have to underline, you have to really underline important lines and write it separately on your own notebook. Did you understand? Use a marker if you need it in the book and mark the important things and then write it. So say, can you, for example, CR did 2 Kathak dancers and 1 tabla player until now. Say, for sake of saying. So those 2 Kathak dancers are 2 separate gharanas. One has Jaipur and one was Lucknow. So she will write about Jaipur gharana specialty, about Lucknow gharana specialty, and the tabla player, she did Punjab. So she'll write about Punjab. It's in the notebook already written before. So during the exam, just before the exam, you read the study a day or two before. So they're asking, you can write the gharanas, those specialty. It's not difficult. It's like, oh, Lucknow Gharana came from the city of Lucknow. It has both Muslim and Hindu influence. It has those delicate moves. It has a lot of songs and abhinays. So one line is not a very like a complicated English or anything. But yes, Iksha?
Is the Gharana a question for grade 3 and 4 or only
No,
grade
only
4?
4. It's only grade 4. I for grade 3, I explained you. You have to write about the Kavit and the Guru Vandana before the exam. Okay? Before the exam. Same thing about the Gharana before the exam. Okay, rest everything is fine. I explained you the notation of the tal, right dugun, at least of teen tal and keherwa. Start with it. You will have when you will get the fun out of it. I know you will write the dadra also and the jhaptal also. But start with keherwa. That's the easiest one for writing a gundogun. Okay, and then you have this vandana or the kavit or the devotional song. At least 2 out of those 3, and about the Qarana. Rest you just study from the book. Do with the marker with that, and whatever. Just revise everything from initial grade. Revise everything. Costumes, use of costumes, why you wear ghungroos. Go to the syllabus and look what they're asking for each grade. Mark it and just have the answer. What are the costumes for Kathak? That's initial grade. What costumes do you wear in Kathak? That's initial grade. They may ask you which folk dance. I'm saying which folk dance. Write something about the folk dance that you have learned, because folk dance is in the syllabus. Correct? So say, for example, they write, okay, I've done Ghumar. It's from the state of Rajasthan. The girls wear lehenga, blouse, choli, dupatta in that, and what are the occasion. Or somebody did Bhangra. So that historical context and the cultural context, a couple of lines. Okay, don't keep your brain somewhere and come to the exam. Okay, like in your educational exam, it's not that you have to just do exactly what is in the class. You have to also know how to answer them differently if asked through a different context. Okay, do namaskar. I'll see you guys in class in April. Practice well. You guys are back from vacation. Literally practice next 15 days every day. Every day, half an hour. I guarantee you'll start enjoying. If you practice more, you'll start enjoying the class more.
Namaste.
Namaste.